So I wanted all of us to meet Shalini Rawatji. Many of you may know her. She's been attending our classes on and off, and she lives in Chandigarh, in Punjab. And she's a, her background is she's a literary critic, and she's a seasoned academic editor and trilingual translator. So she translates into back and forth between English, Hindi, and Punjabi. And in fact, she just now finished translating this Sri M. Many of you know that spiritual guru Sri M. And so Sri M's autobiography, she translated from English to Punjabi. Okay. And so she's, how we came to know about her. Well, she was in class, but somehow we were, Asha Seva Kendram, we were working with NCERT to review their books. And this review of English books came up. And so she was the one who took up reviewing that English textbooks of the third grade and the sixth grade. And she did such a fantastic job that she basically recommended just redoing a big portion of this English textbook. And the NCERT did not expect that. They were expecting some others, social studies, etc. Generally, history, there's always a problem. But English, there was a problem, and she critiqued the whole book, and I mean the essences of the book. And so she's helped us a lot and continues to help us. And some of you know this Upanishad Ganga Chinmaya mission. So she's the translation and editing of the Upanishad Ganga series. I think the original is Hindi, and you must have translated it into English, I think. Correct? Yeah. Yeah. And then she is, of course, very interested in this whole idea of Indian knowledge systems and decolonization and so forth. And that discussion came up with us a few weeks ago, and she's doing some very interesting work in Punjab, in Chandigarh. We are living here in the south, and our kind of systems are there. We are aware of what challenges we have here, but those challenges are different. We often hear in the news about this drug culture in Punjab among youth, and so she has a lot to say. But I thought we'll listen to her and see what all she does, and how she's doing in her own way, contributing to strengthening our dharma. So with that, please welcome Shalini Rawatji.
Thank you. Thank you, Guruji. I am not even contributing a drop to the ocean where every day you give us bucketfuls of knowledge. And compared to that, nothing very special that I'm doing. However, I can say my initiation into the entire process of decolonization. First, I call it decolonization because Dharma to me came much later. So I was on the other side, as you can say, totally immersed in Western education. Macaulay's children, you call us. Totally a product of the convent education system. I was born and brought up in Mumbai. And then when I was into my teens, early teens, I shifted back with my parents. I used to live there with my grandparents, and then I shifted with my parents. And then, as happens with children who are good academically, or used to happen with kids who are, happens still now. So you want to explore so many facets of your personality. So I got into radio. I was with Akashwani, with Bharati Chandigarh, and then before that with Akashwani Patiala. Then I did quite a few things. So my job was basically as an editor with a newspaper, a very prominent newspaper in the north. It's called the Tribune, and that's where my editing journey began. But I think education wise, one of my masters also happens to be in English. And we were asked to take up specializations. And I found, at that time, I was working for marginalized people. That's what you call them. And it's a very dangerous category because the definition per se It seems it deals with or it covers people who are underprivileged, who do not have a voice of their own, you know. So I was, even when I went into the Tribune, and I was a literary critic for them as well as an editor. So the critique part just came as doing a book review every odd Sunday or so. These were literary books, like these were academic books, not novels and fiction and all that stuff. So that comprised. So I used to pick out books which took the side of the marginalized sections. Of course, when you're young, in your younger days, you're also a feminist and stuff like that. So I was into voicing you're giving a voice to the people who had been unheard. And slowly, I realized that all these definitions are somehow not fitting. And the more also, because by the side, when you're working, you're also living a life. And your lived reality is very different from what is written in the books. One of my masters also happened to be gender studies. Another one was business management. So I studied quite a bit and I worked in all these areas. And then gender studies, I thought, because I thought every articulate girl thinks that she's, born feminist. And I realized that, okay, fine.
What is general studies?
Gender studies is basically, at that time, it was the study of feminism when I did it about 20 years ago. Nowadays, it includes all the seven LGBTQI things are also included in there. So at that time, I think the maximum they referred to LGBT, probably not more than. They did not go beyond transgenders. They did not include those in their curricula. So, however, I found that the lived reality where I was living in my country was very different from what they were voicing. So employment is education is equal to employment is equal to freedom for women. I mean, that is the fundamental premise that if you are making money, you are independent. If you are flouting all the social norms, you are independent. Whereas I found that people who were strong, or women who were strong, or in general people who were strong, they did not deal with society as like that. You can be a revolutionary, but you don't have to wear it on your sleeve. So then other things happened, and slowly my worldview started to kind of shift. And then I realized that a lot of what I was saying was coming from my books alone, and it did not match my lived reality. And then slowly, maybe I started searching for books that answered some questions that I had. And I started also articulating these in the programs that I used to first conduct, and then later, giving interviews and stuff like that, writing for the newspaper. Slowly, my life, my worldview changed. And especially when I was faced with a couple of personal crises at home and at work, that is the time when I realized that it is nothing but good introspection that saves you, not the theories that are written in academics. I was a PDP expert. PDP is personal development programs, or sometimes they're called personality development programs that are offered to college professors. The university does that. So the university has their own academic school. I taught in the university also for a bit. So I was taking all these programs, teaching professors, different facets. For example, communication. My forte was communication, or ethics, and I couldn't find anything in ethics. I also taught papers on ethics, and I realized that you cannot teach ethics because people who are fundamentally corrupt, it doesn't do anything to them. It doesn't add any value, and it's just an academic exercise. No matter how many doing exercises that are included in them. You do exercises with them to break the ice, to inculcate a certain value. You cannot do it in a seminar. And that's when I realized this is not the impact that I want to have, or I do, this is not the way I want to, run through life, just parroting somebody else's views. And then I thought there must be something which is deeper than this. And that's when I came across the Chinmay Mission. This was, I think, in the year 2004 or 5. My husband was posted in Panipat. He was in the telecom sector, for which reason I had to also quit my job. But I was always doing something or the other. And at that time, it just started with a magazine. Then we shifted to Canada. We lived there for a while, and that's when I came into full contact with the Chinmay Mission. And I realized, oh my God, this is something that fundamentally provides a basis. And there also, the Swaminiji there was very, I think she still is there. She still is around, Swamini Shivapriyananda, and she has this excellent eye. Very few people have that, She knows what each person can do, what to delegate to whom. And she made me in charge of a couple of summer camps and other sessions they held for children. And while doing my own research, my kids were also younger at that time. I realized what this package is complete. This is whole. And why is that? Because it works on you at all levels, and it is not making you doubt yourself. It is, because with that knowledge that the academic world gives us, now Guruji can obviously tell you why this is different and that is different. You are forever looking for padding whatever you already know. You want more, you want more, you want more. Here you are dropping all the external frills and you are coming to the core. And I found that this is probably what I was looking for, because there was nobody who had, maybe there must have been. I come from a Brahmin family, I'm married to a Rajput. Maybe there must have been somebody in my ancestors who must have been interested in this, because the samskara came from there, very, very academic. And then slowly I shifted to this. And then when I quit my job and joined freelance editing and translation, I realized that I want to give my energy to something that needs to be resuscitated. And then slowly dawned upon me that, okay, fine, I am educating myself on what is the core of Indian philosophy and how it can uplift you. But all around me, not a lot of people know this, and there is a lot of darkness. So I can't speak on the drug problem, because technically I'm not in Punjab. I'm living in Chandigarh, which is outside Punjab. But yes, I belong to Punjab. And there is a lot of resistance to anything that is spelled DHARMA. So anything that is, so that of course comes from all the foreign support that has been poured into Punjab in order to strengthen the idea of a separatist state, so much so that everything that is Indian and Hindu is looked at with doubt. So, for example, when Guruji asked me to edit something that he was preparing for a course for children, I like totally reacted. I said, no, you can't call that course Dharma Vidya. The moment they hear the word Dharma, the parents will just run away. Nobody's going to do that in Punjab. He says, no, 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 that is not the case in Tamil Nadu. I know there's a lot of issues there also. So if so, my purpose is, or what I call my life purpose, you keep on altering it, you keep on rephrasing it, is basically to spread this knowledge, which has helped me and which I think is true knowledge. It sounds very bombastic when I say which I think is true knowledge, which is true knowledge to people, in order to, again, it would sound very bombastic if I say we want to go back to the glorious India that we were. We are a glorious country. I don't think we have anybody can ever take away anything like that from us. So external poverty, external things that you see on the streets, the drop in the character levels, yes. But I think our purvajas, our ancestors have worked enough on us, that there has been a DNA shift within us. So everywhere in the world that I travel, people say, "Oh, there is something about you Indians," and so many people, So many people across the world told me this, that when we look into an Indian's eyes, you guys, your eyes shine. They have a different shine. And I think the eyes are the windows to the soul. So all the meditation, or all the yoga, or all the sadhana is the word for it, that our purvajas have done, our ancestors have done. I think there is a DNA shift. And I also think personally that the time of Bharata has come, and there has been a renaissance. We have seen a lot of vocalization, a lot of articulation about the idea and how we need to strengthen it. And to that end, as I said, in my professional life, I've shifted totally to Adhyatmic texts. And by God's grace, whether it's volunteer work or whether it's paid work, I get a lot of that. Um, Translating text from English, Hindi, Punjabi into, like, vice versa. All the three, I work with them. And also, whatever chance I get. So I was a lot into acting. So recently, that I sounds very funny. 50 plus, roly poly, I got a very good part to play in a Pakistani play where I was supposed to be the heroine's mother. And I took it up entirely because my intent was very different. So it's the play was, we just celebrated Basant Panchami, and so it was 3 days. It was staged 3 4 days before Basant Panchami, and it's very relevant to the festival. And it's called Lofir Basant Ai, means the Basant, the festival of spring has arrived again. And why it is relevant is because for about 20 plus years, around 30 years in fact, the celebration of Basant Panchami was banned in Pakistan. So we know of the sari ban, we know of the bindi ban, we know of so many bans in Pakistan, but we don't really know the cruelty inflicted upon people there. They were not allowed to cook yellow rice, you make yellow things, you wear yellow clothes, you fly kites. So all of that was not allowed. It was suppressed under various garbs, that, kite, the door of the kites, it strangles kids and they fall and they die, or it strangulates them, and whatever reasons the governments give, various reasons. And recently they have allowed that festival again. So it was the entire play. So it was very well written. The script was very good. The playwright is Shahid Nadeem, and we I also spoke to him, and he was so impressed that we have liked the play. The Indian audience, it played to a full house unexpectedly, and there was a lot of appreciation. He gave articles, and they were published in newspapers in Pakistan, like the Dawn and others, regional papers. So they interviewed us from Pakistan. So it had a lot of impact. So I think we don't even realize that where there is no dharma, by dharma I just mean Sanatan Dharma, their darkness has been accumulating. And we know a lot of things that come from that religion: no color, no music, no dance, no interaction between the two genders, and basically everything that bleaches, that leaches life out of you. So basically you're left, you don't have any way to express yourself. You can't sing, you can't dance, you can't have color in your life, not wearing it, not in festivals, because everything like that is considered Sanatana. We don't know the extent of repression that is going on, and Punjab sadly has been going that way. So Sikhs, we know that Sikhism is a community that was born of a blend of the best of Islam and Hinduism. But over the years, it has been radicalized to the other end. And 89, I think it was, that dance and music were banned in Pakistan on Pakistan TV. And by the 79 or 89, and then by after that, you have had a spike in terrorism activities by that country, or and a huge spike. So that is basically energy, and our purvajas realized that if that energy is used positively, it can have a great impact. So whether it's radio programs, my writings, my translations, any other work of art that I do, I don't write too much. Like creative writing has really taken a back seat because of I'm also like taking care of my mother. She's an invalid, so that has gone, that has gone down over the years. But however, wherever, whatever chance I get, and also I take I classes in the Chinmay Mission, the local Chinmay Mission. It's a very small chapter. We have not more than if I stretch it, I think 40, 45 people in the entire mission, and they are also not regulars. But I narrate stories from the Upanishads. They have an orphanage attached to that. So I narrate stories from the Upanishads to the girls in the orphanage there. And then we do a discussion. So right now I'm planning a course with them wherein if you're in touch with the kids in your house, they're very impressed by the Disney movies. They watch a lot of animation, not the Japanese, the Disney movies that have come out in the past 20 years, and most of them are beautiful. They have wonderful messages. So film analysis is something that I want to do with these girls, and it's a girls orphanage. And after you sit through a movie like, let's say, The Soul, and then you sit down and analyze, and what is it that you like, and so that you can call it film appreciation. Because I was a critique, I hate that word critique, so I just call it appreciation. So teaching children how to appreciate, what to highlight, because there is a lot of wokeism amongst kids. There's my kids are out of the teenage state now, but however, they still tell me about how there's a lot of wokeism out there and radicalization is happening. And even within Sanatana, there are radical sects. So there are a lot of challenges that we face. So I wouldn't say I'm doing much as Guruji is doing, and I wouldn't say I'm as consistent as he is. But wherever I get a chance, I make sure that I gently. So there are writing groups that I am in, and there, people put in their comments, and then I DM them, and then we have discussions outside the group, and I gently lead them. I tell them, oh, they say, oh, India is a corrupt country. Like nowadays, I'm having someone with a very prominent author. And he is like, oh, India is a corrupt country. There's no hope there. I'm going to relocate with my family, blah, blah, blah. So I told him, will that help the country if you go out? And then we have extended discussions. So the idea is basically the focus right now is that whoever you get in touch with, it could be on the net, it could be through your writing, it could be personally, it could be online. Um, Spread the light of the Dharma. So I think we can all be ambassadors to the cause when we take this education. It and we when we entrench, when it is embedded within us, and we feel, this is what has given me, that moment, that spark that I see in Guruji's eyes whenever I attend his classes. I love that spark that is there, that light that is there, that is uh, it's beautiful. Whatever it has given us, we ought to transmit it. um, I see a lot of potential in that, and the world needs more of that. Thank you. That's all.
Shalini ji, great.
Thank you, Shalini ji.
Shadasahasram Namovaham.
Shalini,
Jarayveti.
Thank you.
Shalini is your wonderful job. And then really we all appreciate your dedication to spread of our Sanatana Dharma. And then that too so close proximity to Pakistan. You are doing a wonderful job and then daredevil job. Be careful about yourself. We're
Yeah,
all concerned a lot
I
of
make
horror
sure.
stories.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Ramesh ji. I make sure that my views are, and I have no intentions of being a Jai Sai Deepak or somebody like that, people who are very vocal with their views and very articulate about Sanatan Dharma. I just tell them, whatever philosophy it is that you're following, it can be wokeism, it can be feminism, it can be materialism. So, what does it give you in your private personal moments? What are you? Who are you? Do you experience that ananda? And then slowly they come around, and then they slowly, it's a gradual process. I'm not there to, make people, let's say, followers of a particular god. I'm not doing that. And there is no, there is no evangelization motive that I have in my mind. That is not the idea. The idea is just a gentle introduction to come back to who we originally are, were, are, and will be. Right. That's it. Thank you so much, Dr. Silva.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. All the best.
Shalini, as Vivekananda said, I came here not to convert the Christians, to make a Christian better Christian. Like that statement.
Yeah. By the way, that is a big threat. There's a huge, huge threat in Punjab because the periphery of the society, all the peripheral castes, they are rapidly converting because of the monetary benefits that are being offered. So let's say in my mother's house, my parents live in Patiala, which is in Punjab, and all their stuff. So the milkman who comes to give in milk, the maid, the nurse that she used to have there, they all have converted to Christianity. And the thing there is that, in Christianity, you do not change the name. So that name is only for Sunday school. So the nurse, for example, her name is Jyoti. And I asked her full name just like that. We have this tendency, I think the Brahmins have this thing. And she says, Jyoti, whatever Sikh surname she had. And then he said, so you are these guys. She says, no, 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 we are not that. We are Christians. So I said, but this is a Sikh surname. She says, no, no, no. This is for the 6 days in a week. And for the 7th day, we have, my name is Martha. And that is used by me in the church. So these people are being weaned away. And I'm telling you, it's a massive issue in Punjab that we are not looking into right now. And of course, all of the people who were uprooted from UP, a lot of them also have settled in Punjab. So at the peripheries of, even in Chandigarh, you find a lot of people with those topis. So the thing is, the threat is very real, but people are not realizing it. A Sikh gentleman, a professor we were entertaining the other day, he said, this is not a threat at all. These are just the poor people, who are going in there for the money that is being offered for the education of a child or the marriage of a sister or stuff like that, or a job that is being offered. I said, you don't realize, sir, the job that is being offered is the job of a pastor. The education that is being offered is the education in a church, in a convent. Incidentally, the second largest church of Asia is being built right here in the outskirts of Mohali. I was shocked. So we do not realize the threat that is coming to Sanatana. It is a massive, it is a real threat. However, as I said, because I am a family person, I'm a grihastha, and there is no way I can run anywhere. I don't have any protection or whatever. So I'm just a normal citizen. So what I realized is what should be my course of action, and that is very clear. That whenever I'm offered a project in Sanatana, I do not talk about money. I just say, okay, come, let me do it. And wherever I get a chance to present my views, I do that. I insert those views amongst the views that I have already collected over my lifetime about whatever is being talked about. So that was the chance. That is very important. And that, I think, that keeps you very safe. You are not in the highlight, you're not highlighted by anyone. But you realize that the threat is very real. And when people slowly come around to your point of view, then you can articulate it to them that this is the way we need to go, because this is the only way, and this is the only way that can let the world live in harmony. If you really want to live in harmony, you have to come back to Sanatana. Thank you.
We know whatever each word we said, I do agree, I know that, and I know the bar dancer is behind it, and the whole system I know. The same thing, they don't change the name, is only for getting the government benefits, SC/ST benefits and all. It's a toolkit business. We all know. We have been facing in Tamil Nadu, in Kanyakumari, not only in Kanyakumari, all the states and all the tribal
in Andhra
areas.
Pradesh also. Stories the same in
all
Andhra
the tribal
Pradesh
areas
also.
we know. We work in the Manavasi Kendras, we know that. They've done that. RSS is working in the Anamasi Kendras for so many years. My friends are, many of them are pracharaks who were and who are still. So they work in the tribal areas. I myself have gone in the tribal areas and was what you call driven out by a person belonging to the dancer group. And he saw to it that we were out of the village that day, 40 years back. I still remember the day. The dancer is behind it. We know that.
So we at our Kendram we support some groups, um, not not directly but indirectly. So like in Kerala, so Malappuram. So there is places like Malappuram which are all infested with this kind of activity, and some people we know there. Then after this one, this Kerala Files story. So there are some organizations that are working to protect our Hindu girls and Hindu women. And so we had a chance to help them out also. But see, Shalini, you mentioned this thing intrigued me. This ethics course you said, ethics.
Yes.
And when I was working, and suddenly they started introducing all these courses, ethics and so forth. And I used to wonder, oh, ethics, oh, they're studying ethics and all. I never studied ethics. So that kind of feeling I got. But now that you said, a corrupt person can never be changed by this course. I mean, this is an purely academic exercise. So the question is, I suppose corporate ethics is I suppose it came into corporations because of all the golmaal that was going on in corporations, and so to sensitize some people, I suppose, is why that came. So your idea that this is academic was a very intriguing thing. And what is the purpose of those courses these days? Is that the same or is it different or what?
God alone knows. Because fundamentally, if you are in darkness, and that is what I call it, no matter the amount of proselytization that you do, you can never, straighten somebody's ethical compass. That compass is deep within you. And, that has to be kind of, उसकी जैसे सिंचाई करते हैं हम खेत की, that has to be irrigated. That compass has to be set. uh, of course, because we know the story behind that also, there is only so much that you can do, because the child is already carrying purva janma sanskaras. So there is actually very little that we can do. However, as they say in, my husband is an engineer and he uses this analogy a lot. He says, "Firma set ho jata hai na ek baar." So the firma, the mold, once the mold is set, then there are things that a child knows, oh, he cannot do. And a lot of unethical stuff happens because uh, most of us are fence sitters. And we see that, oh, in a moment when nobody is watching, let me go ahead and do this. Or, because everybody is doing it, come on, let me do this. So that is what leads to more and more, Kaliuga taking over. So, yeah, so if you can, there are fence sitters. If you can help just the fence sitters, the people who are hardcore, the people who are radicalized, the people who have those samskaras so strong into them that, oh, you cannot be changed. However, there have been, luminaries, gurus who have changed those people also. We are not so blessed. However, what I feel is, you can give an alternate to people who are fence sitters, people who are or basically just lost sometimes, who just don't know which way to go. And children especially appeal that way to me. I taught in a school also, what was that? What do you call those schools in Canada? The after school schools that you have. And there also I used to, kind of bring in my Chinmay mission training to them. And they were mostly Indian children. There were blacks, there were whites there also. And then after class, after we finished the work, I used to interact with them and ask them. So the problem with kids there is that there is no one to guide them. So there is this term called amoral. They don't know what it is to be moral or immoral, because there is nobody there who has guided them about the moral this thing. So maybe for all that, the business management curricula designers put in this paper of ethics. And my students used to take that paper very, very nonchalantly. They were like, oh, this is just, we need to score some marks there. Nobody really gave any attention to that. However, I think for my research, I kept on reading more and more books, and this is where I've landed. So, yeah, it's basically your compass in life that is going to guide you. But I think, again, that grounding that I got, it superimposed whatever samskaras that I had. So sooner rather than later, you end up doing or end up being in the space you were meant to be in. So if we can help someone who is fence sitting, someone who is not clear, not sure, I think it would be a good thing. I'm not out, as I said, to evangelize, to proselytize. I'm not in that mode. We can't do that. And Guruji also in one of his mails said, there are people who have a lot more experience than us in doing that. There are communities, there are religions who have been doing that for ages. I have no intentions of trying to catch up with them. But at my end, let me be clear. And also because when you start studying Dharma, you start living a dharmic life. So sometimes when people, that is very surprising. In the past 5, 10 years, when people come to me and they say, I don't know how you're so peaceful. I doubt I look peaceful, but a lot of people tell me, you look very peaceful. And then I tell them, this is what I am doing. You want to do that? I do a meditation. Slowly, 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 you introduce them. I begin with meditation and then I do that. Uh, there's one more thing that I haven't mentioned. I didn't think it worth mentioning earlier, but I can mention it now. I also take groups who are my peers. So there is, for example, I have a childhood friend who's a doctor, and her entire clinic of doctors, about 18 of them, I hold online classes for them. And what do we do in online classes? Because these are a mixed group, so they are all religions. So I do not talk about religion. I do not talk about religious texts at all. I just pick up any neutral text, anything that is, that is palatable to them, and through that teach dharmic concepts as much as I have understood. So this is also something that I do. So whatever I can in my own way, and it's not even a drop in the ocean, I understand that, but yeah, that's what I try to do. And otherwise, if I am always available, there's something that you want to write, a book, dharmic book, and I would be happy to edit it. If you're writing it in English, I can translate it in Hindi into Hindi or Punjabi. I can do that for you. The AI is still not good. People think that ChatGPT can do it, not even the most advanced versions. Believe me, I've tried all the pro and everything. I'm in this line. They don't do a good job. Till as of now, as I speak. So as of now, they are not so advanced. So you want work done with that, I'm available. And that's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very, very great. And if you are looking further text on all these things, you can go to Arsha Vinash site, where Swami Paramatmananda's translations and transcriptions, not translations, transcriptions of various texts are there. Go it in a steady fashion, and what do you call that, system of study is given. You can, what do you call that, the same thing for Jay Kumarji and everything is following. You can take help from that. It's all in the form of PDF. You can download and read that if you are not already aware of it.
Okay, I'm not. If you could just text me or in the group,
Sure.
what
But
you
I don't
think.
have your number and all, because many of the people don't give their number or in the WhatsApp group. They just give
No,
the number. The name is not there.
I'm very much there. I'm very much there, Ramuji.
No,
And
but only it is not visible. Many are visible only as a number in the group.
okay, so
Okay.
I'll text a hello in the group
Oh,
right after we finish.
yeah.
And then, yeah. So
My name is Ramu.
I know that, Ramuji, we have conversed before.
Yeah. Oh, maybe. I don't know. Okay.
Anyway,
I don't remember. Okay. No problem, Ji. Good. Great.
Thank you, Shalini ji. Thank you. May Bhagavan and Bhagavati give you all the power. Keep doing and more. Good.
One last
Any?
thing, Jaykumarji, I was talking about Priya. Today we were talking about so much of Priya to pun. I had forwarded the photos of Priya we were talking about with the discussion with the, not discussion, the dinner with Prime President Modi.
Yeah. So there is our Ramuji's sister-in-law's daughter, I think, is what he said.
Daughter.
Huh?
Sister's daughter.
Sister's daughter. Okay, sister's daughter. So she's manufactures electronic locks, and I mean she has a lot of good experience. She was invited by the President of India for dinner yesterday to be along with the European delegation and discuss, the ideas of startup. She's a startup, and so she brings in all those ideas. So I think she's Ramuji. She's from Coimbatore, is it not? Very much in Coimbatore.
Very much Coimbatore. She is a Coimbatore only.
Yeah. So we have some.
And she has been on the line for so many years, and she runs 2 companies, ProLogic and Priya.
Yeah, love to meet her sometime, and
Yeah, sure, anytime.
it's a matter of pride for all of us to have such people, that to know such people, and I saw that thing, that invitation you sent me yesterday. I think you sent the invitation.
Today early morning, I shared with all the photos.
President Murmu's invitation to Priyaji. I saw that. Very good.
Among the 40 people who were invited, only 7 were selected for the dinner with the president. She was one of them.
Okay. Amazing.
And the other people, so many people they are all with that. What do you call it? So many people. I'll give the list and all that. You can see that.
Very good. Now, convey our best to Priyaji.
Sure.
And tell her about this conversation, and love to meet her sometime.
Thank you. Sure, anytime when you come here. Whenever I get to talk, I don't know. Even when I go home, she will not be there. Always traveling. That's the thing. I can't get to speak to her on the phone also. For rare chance. Okay, no problem. Her husband is also in the same line. Both did the same thing.
Very good. Thank you, Ramuji. Thank you. Okay, we'll pause with that today. Any questions from class? You please save it for next time. Any other thoughts? Anything that anybody had?
Thank you for introducing Shalini ji, Guruji. We appreciate the work that she is doing. Actually, similar conditions are there in many states in India. We are happy that we are working in Punjab, because Punjab is such a state that we have, such fond memories of Punjab. Whenever we talk of freedom movement or anything like that, Punjab and Bengal come to our mind first. So it is very disturbing that states like Punjab and West Bengal are going the way they are going. So I appreciate and I congratulate for all the work that you are doing. We wish that God gives you, Durga Mata must give you all the strength to go your path in fullest strength. Thank you, Guruji, for introducing Shalini ji. Thank you.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrita Kalasha Hastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trilokyanathaya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha.